The thing that made me laugh is how much English journalists are stretching um,
Yeah.
to give some positive spin on everything, which is they've gone back in time. I don't know if you saw this, but this is in like a Michael Cox article, but they've gone back 10 years, 10, 12 years of major tournaments, both men and women, and they have argued that every time the team that played the first semi-final have won, barring one occasion.
God, this is
Like
like my
both
mother
World
and
Cup
her.
and Euros.
This is like my mom and superstitions. She like give money by the right hand, and then the money will come back to you, or something like that.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of All Over the W. Ash is here with me, and we are going to be previewing the Euros finals between England and Spain. Before we get started, just a reminder to all of you out there to subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and leave some comments and tell us who you think are going to win the finals, the Euros, and also what your score prediction is for the finals. All right, Ash, let's get cracking, shall we? England versus Spain. Uh, can you sort of take us through what the last few fixtures between these two teams have looked like?
Okay, so basically, I think apart from Germany, Spain have basically dominated every team they've played. I think they've had a fairly cakewalk group stage in which I think their only competitive game to some extent, and even that they won 3-1, was against Italy.
Yeah.
So they've done spectacularly well in the tournament, and they've not had an easy run of it because they've faced a lot of like really difficult teams. uh, like if you to look at it, they faced Germany, they faced Switzerland, who is the home team.
Yeah.
So their group stage, I will argue, was easy, like
Yeah.
compared to England. But everything else has been very, very difficult in terms of
Yeah.
getting through it. And credit to them for reaching the final. They are the favorites, I think. Everyone somewhat agrees that perhaps that they are the best team currently in the Euros. So they do look like the favorites to win. England, on the other hand, I think had the opposite sort of tournament in which they had a very
Mhm.
difficult group stage, in which they lost to France and then had to win both their other games. Fortunately for them, Netherlands did not come to the party in that group,
Yeah.
and so that worked out. But in some ways, coming second to France was a blessing for them because France had the more difficult route of, if of Germany, and if they had won that game, then Spain. So I think in some ways England are fortunate because they had the slightly, I would not say easier, but slightly more convenient route of
Yeah.
facing Sweden and Italy, both teams that I think are definitely more beatable than either Germany or France.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, but both teams deserve to be in the final. I would argue that England got there kicking and screaming, and Spain have got there with some ease, maybe apart from the
Yeah.
previous game. Uh, so yeah, that's it. I think.
Yeah. I think England have given their fans a lot of near heart attacks in this tournament,
Yeah,
whereas the Spanish fans have been just like cruising. I could
yeah,
feel the energy just being the there was a bit of like an unsettled energy in the because I was sitting right next to the Spanish end, and like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it was there was a lot of buzzing, like not like what do you say, like murmurs that was happening at like
yeah,
110th minute. Like they still hadn't scored, and
yeah,
I think obviously I think the Spanish fans were worried if that game had gone to pens, and then maybe Germany would win because
yeah.
they do arguably have the better shot stopper in goal.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
fortunately for
mean,
them, they have a little
more
someone called
than the
Aitana.
more than the better shot stopper, have you seen a Spanish penalty record this tournament? Mariona has missed a pen. Alexia has missed a pen.
Oh,
Have they
right,
scored a
yeah.
pen? I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I mean, yeah, so, but yeah, they didn't leave it to that. So,
Yeah.
which means England come into the final having played two back-to-back 120s and with an extra day rest, and Spain come into it having played a 120 with like a day fewer rest. But the thing that made me laugh is how much English journalists are stretching um,
Yeah.
to give some positive spin on everything, which is they've gone back in time. I don't know if you saw this, but this is in like a Michael Cox article, but they've gone back 10 years, 10, 12 years of major tournaments, both men and women, and they have argued that every time the team that played the first semi-final have won, barring one occasion.
God, this is
Like
like my
both
mother
World
and
Cup
her.
and Euros.
This is like my mom and superstitions. She like give money by the right hand, and then the money will come back to you, or something like that. Like this is
Yeah,
that.
no, but I mean, the lose argument that they're making is that extra day of rest counts, which I can't buy into. But I mean,
Yeah,
it's made me chuckle a little bit how much they're reaching at this point
yeah.
because they have no faith in their team. um,
God,
and rightfully so. I mean, they've kept the fans on their toes.
yeah.
But Ash, let's have a look at the head to head, shall we?
Yeah.
Uh,
Basically, England versus Spain. England have won 5 times to Spain's 4 times with one draw, and the last time that they played each other was on 3rd June in the Women's Nations League Cup in Group 3, where Spain won 2-1 against England. Uh, and it's just been alternating between them because in the same Nations League, England won 1-0 against Spain in
yeah,
February. And it's just been like that for a while now because before that, Spain won, and then before that, England won, and then before that, it was a draw. So it's just been
yeah.
one of those like really close head to heads. Like there have been, even when the team wins, like none of these scores have been like massive, like 4-0, 5-0, 3-0 also. Because like it's like 2-1, 1-0, 1-0, 2-1, 0-0, 1-0, 1, 2-1, 2-0,
Yeah,
1, 1-2, 2-3. So nothing that's been just like total like demolition of the other
dominance
team. Yeah.
from yeah. I think this is also why I wanted like the only small reason why I wanted England to sort of like I was happy to see England because
Yeah.
like I mean at least given the history you can
Yeah.
expect a
Yeah.
competitive match if
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
else. Like you don't want like but I also worry given the recent England performances that they'll just be smashed like 3-0. They'll
Yeah.
be
Yeah. Yeah.
Spain will be 2-0 up at halftime and the scoreline eventually will be 3-0. But let's talk about some important matchups. What are you excited for?
I mean, honestly, I want to see this Spanish midfield just go at it. Like I don't really have much expectation from the English backline. Also because it's not been a very settled backline through the tournament. We had Carter, then we had Morgan come in for Carter. We had Greenwood move to fullback. So apart from Bronze, I think every other and Bronze and Williamson that side, I think it's been slightly chaotic for the English backline. Uh,
Yeah,
and I would like to see them uh, keep up with Aitana, Alexia,
yeah,
and Patry. I think it will
yeah.
be it just be
I
fun
think
to watch to watch as a from a
yeah.
neutral.
I think it's interesting because it's almost like how England's team looks now currently.
Yeah,
It's kind of evolved into a place where it's good for England in the sense that
Yeah.
like the midfield, like Stanway has kind of grown into the tournament. Like
Yeah.
she's also somebody who's just coming back from injury, and I feel like she's consistently improved through the
Yeah.
tournament. I think her first game was really bad, but since then she's gotten better. Walsh is somebody I find it hard to rely on her. She's become to me increasingly unreliable because
Yeah.
of how much she gets marked out of games, and
Yeah.
I am very sure Aitana or Alexia, one of them, is going to just pin her back. I am very,
Yeah.
very certain of it.
Yeah.
Which means you're left with Elatoon and Stanway. And Elatoon is somebody like I do trust to do the running, the off the ball work,
Yeah.
which might be very, very key for this game. So, yeah, I am really intrigued to see how those two midfields would match up to each other.
Yeah.
My prediction is that the Spain midfield are going to overrun them a little bit. But if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
want to give the English defense any chance, their
Yeah.
midfield has to turn up and do something, even if it's just like break up play, um,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and just
I,
break up the rhythm.
coming to like England's forwards, much had been made before the tournament about the fact that Spain, they outscore teams. They don't keep defense, like defensively they don't keep it tight. But I
Mhm.
think Katakol's inclusion has somewhat changed that.
Yep.
Like uh like she's been making a bunch of like really good saves. She's been having a really good tournament. She's been good passing out from the back as well. And like I think all the obviously because of their high line, uh, it's harder for the Spanish defenders to keep clean sheets.
Yeah.
But I do think that despite that, they've done a really good job in defense.
Yeah.
And barring that, one game um, in the
It was against
in
Belgium.
yeah,
It
against
finished like
Belgium.
6-3,
Yeah,
five
yeah,
two or
6-3.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Apart from that one game, I think they had a clean sheet against Poland. They only conceded one goal, like I think against Italy. Then
Italy,
they had
yeah.
a clean sheet against um,
Okay. Switzerland
Switzerland
and Sweden
and
and Germany.
Germany. So apart from that Belgian game, they have kept it really tight in defense. So I
Yeah.
think that they're going to be a harder proposition for the English forwards than people think they are.
Yeah, and given like a forward line that's really struggling for goals, to
Yeah,
be fair, like Hemp doesn't look like she's gonna score at all. Russo
yeah,
is very hot and cold, and like I mean, I was talking to my sister a little bit about this, how Russo is just not a big game player.
yeah,
Like she's not somebody you can like fully rely on for like in like clutch moments,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and of course Lauren James, like I'm honestly not even sure if she's going to start, like depending on her fitness. But yeah, I mean, I guess the good thing for England is the bench is deep, goals can come from different places, but
Yeah,
you can argue the same for Spain because Athenia
yeah.
has come and scored and assisted a bunch of goals.
Yeah, I
uh,
mean, who would you say has the better bench?
hmm, I think the sort of almost equal, I would argue. Maybe
Yeah,
like the only difference is I think the Spain bench, yeah, I think they're pretty equal, I would say. Like, you have like the experience of, say, a player like Athenia, who's been around the block for a bit. And similarly, you have Beth Mead and Kelly who can have similar impact on the bench for England. And then you have a younger player like younger players like Vicky Lopez or Salma Paruelo, and England have Ajimang and Aguilar Jones. So like it's kind of equally matched. Like maybe player for player quality here and there might be a bit different,
yeah,
but overall, I think yeah, in that sense, again, like who has the capability to change things off the bench, I can't call it. But the
yeah,
starting
yeah.
11 right now in terms of form, I would like side with Spain.
I would any day. Like, I
Yeah.
think I don't think there's any competition in the midfield. I think
Oh
in the
yeah.
forwards, I would say Esther has had much better tournament than Russo
But
has
she's
had.
fizzled out, you know. That's the thing that's annoyed
No,
me as a
arguably,
yeah,
arguably in the Germany game, I thought that even though she looked like she wasn't going to score, she really did. She was one of the few Spanish players who, from the beginning, was able to keep up with the physicality
yeah,
of the Germans. I thought that if from this, like Patry grew into the game, but I thought that Esther and Mariona were the only two players who, from the starting, were able to keep pace with the physicality, and like
yeah,
deal with it easily. So,
yeah,
arguably, I think it was just Germany breaking up play, and so it made Esther look bad.
yeah.
But
Esther
I
also
think that
had that amazing shot. Like, I mean, it was a brilliant save from Berger, but
yeah,
Berger had to, like, it was point blank range. She just smashed it
yeah,
in,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Berger had to tip it over the bar. So, like, I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't think she had a bad game at all. I just think she just didn't score.
yeah. But I also feel like she's been, you know, yeah, I don't know if it's just that defenders have she's been found out a little bit, and defenders
Yeah,
are prepping better against
maybe.
her because I don't know, but yeah, Esther, like I'm also curious. I feel, oh, I think something's wrong with my life, but anyway, uh, es- like I also feel like Mariona has not had the best tournament. I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like she's struggled a little bit
But would
with.
you not say the same of Lauren Hemp, for example?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, yeah,
100%. Like, I'm not saying, like,
yeah,
like looking at the Spanish team in
yeah,
terms
yeah,
of
yeah.
how everybody's, like,
I, as in, I
right
think
now,
that
form wise.
I think Mariona has been a little bit lost in that position, but I
Yeah.
don't think she's been a bad player. Like, for example, if you asked her to put a cross in or something like that, I don't think it's been qualitatively bad. Whereas I think with him, I think there's been a qualitative drop, little bit. I would argue
Mm,
that Mariona's had a slightly better tournament than him has.
yeah, I guess, but I also, maybe it's the kind of expectations we've had. Like for
Yeah, yeah,
me, like given the season she had, and I know we've discussed a little bit about how people have been playing, like she's been played out of position, whatever, what her strongest position is. We've had
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
But yeah, I just feel like, uh, you know, I don't know how to say this, but Pina has been okay. Like Pina has been good,
yeah,
and Athena has been more effective coming off the bench because
yeah,
Mariona
yeah,
is just a different profile of player.
yeah,
But I also feel like she's there's a mentality, like a psychological issue that I'm starting to feel with Mariona.
yeah,
Like in terms of a body language. I mean,
yeah,
listen,
yeah,
I'm just like some armchair psychology I'm doing, but
yeah.
like there's something about her body language, about when she does encounter the physicality and things like that, that
Yeah,
she
yeah, yeah.
like there's a shoulder dropping moment that keeps happening in
Yeah, yeah,
matches,
yeah,
at least the
yeah.
last couple of matches that I've been seeing.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's a little sad because when you see Mariona playing for Arsenal, she's just unbeatable, right? She's just
yeah.
like she just runs the game, and it's just sad to see that she doesn't bring the same thing to her Spanish side. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, before the tournament began, we were on the Mariona for Ballon d'Or train, and I don't
Hmm.
think that's going to happen considering her performance in this Euros.
Yeah, I
And
honestly, I think Aitana, despite having her viral meningitis, is gonna just take that one. I think.
I mean this has been Aitana's tournament. I think
Yeah.
it's just she has
Yeah. I mean, whenever she's come, since she's
she
come back, she's
whenever
looked good.
she's
But
come on, like, she's been good, and
yeah,
she's the reason they are in the final to begin with. So
yeah.
uh,
So.
I would say I would suggest. I think, although, I mean, if you have to put the season into context, I think Alexia's had a really good season as well. So then
Mhm.
she's also up for that Ballon d'Or.
No, but like Alexia has had a good group stage, Like in the
Yeah,
knockout, she's not had good games, but until then,
yeah.
I mean, listen, those who captained her in their fantasy team know how good she's
I've
been.
captained her in my fantasy
I
team, and
know.
I'm so pissed that she's been bad in the knockout stages because I've just been really waiting on her to score. It's really annoying. I'm
Yeah,
gonna switch her out for Aita now.
yeah, but like coming back to the Mariona thing that I was pointing out, uh, I think what I was getting to is that she has a real opportunity here
Yeah,
because she'll be going up against that left side of English defense, which is leaky to say the least.
yeah,
So she has an opportunity to like shine in the finals, is what I would say.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, listen, like in terms of battles on the pitch, I do think the midfield battle kind of that script kind of
yeah,
writes itself at this point.
yeah.
Um,
But
it'll be interesting.
I'll say one thing about England. Sometimes when you have beaten every other team comprehensively and you reach the finals, it
Hmm.
gives you a sense of confidence that the other team doesn't have. England definitely doesn't have that confidence because they
Yeah.
have like scraped by every time. And I think that might like that overconfidence could be the Spanish undoing. And that's the only hope you can have, right? Because
Yeah, but I think that's where this is why I'm really glad Spain had that game like the one they did against Germany, where
Germany,
they
yeah,
really had to keep their heads and work hard
yeah,
for it because, yeah, I feel like um, going through the 120 and like knowing that they had to work hard for it and knowing that every team pretty much have had the same game plan. You know, Switzerland did the
yeah,
same thing, Germany did the same thing. So you can kind of assume that England are going to play very similarly.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
maybe not sit as deep, like press a little more
yeah.
than Germany did, because they just have more well players playing their own
Firepower,
position. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, so I
The
feel
ability
like
to score a goal at all.
yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah. But I'm also looking forward to if LJ is hopping, is
Yeah,
fit. I don't know. I'm also looking forward to that Olga versus Lauren James battle because
yeah,
that might be a little fun.
yeah,
Um, yeah, but a left hand side as well. I feel like honestly, like the form that Lauren Hemp is in, I'm very sure
yeah,
Ona Bache has that under
yeah,
control.
yeah,
Like I don't think she has to worry at all. I think she's
yeah,
been. I saw a stat somewhere that she's been the fastest player, like the one who's ran the fastest. I
yeah,
can't
yeah,
remember
yeah,
the number. So she's pretty fast, and Hemp is also pretty fast. So like I'm
yeah,
sure there's not going to be much of an issue keeping up with her. But yeah, I mean, I was also impressed with Mendes in
yeah,
the because obviously Alexandri was suspended for the game, which means Maria Mendes had to come in, and I thought she was quite good. Like she looked solid in that back line. So I mean, I guess that gives Monse Tome something to think about
think about, yeah.
in the finals. But I'm pretty sure she'll go with Alexandri.
I would go with Alexandria for sure. Uh,
Yeah. Mm,
I
okay.
know you have mixed opinions about Alexandria,
Yeah.
but I think that Spain have a ball playing till their goalkeeper.
Yeah. That's
So
true.
I think in that setup, Alexandria makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Anything we have missed apart from the predictions? Mm,
Do you think if the game goes to penalties? We've seen how terrible England can be on penalties, but
yeah.
we've also seen them be decent on penalties. We
Mm.
haven't really seen the Spanish on penalties, but they have missed two penalties in this tournament. Two, I think, more than that, maybe two. I'm
Two
pretty sure
that I
it's
can
two.
remember of. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah. The
remember.
Mariona one and the Alexia one.
Mm-hmm.
So if it goes to penalties, which team do you think it's England after practicing, or do you think it's anyone
If
else?
it goes to pens, I think England have the upper hand simply because they've been in a lot of shootouts. Like not
Yeah,
just in the like like over time, I feel like they've been in a couple of high pressure shootouts. Like I remember in the World Cup, they had a shootout against Nigeria, which was in the round of 16 or something, or the quarterfinals.
yeah,
I'm not sure. And that was yeah, that was very high pressure because they're the European champions. They can't get knocked out that early
yeah,
to a
yeah,
team
yeah.
like Nigeria, and they'd
Yeah. To
gone
be
down
fair,
to 10 players.
Nigeria. Hey, no dissing Nigeria. They might win the Afcon.
At least at that point, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? When Nigeria were like thought of as these new kids on the block or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But they were incredible. I honestly, that game, I fully felt that like Nigeria should have won that game. It was just the
Mhm.
experience that set them apart.
Yeah,
Listen, this Spain versus England game, I don't think it's going to go to pens, but if it does,
yeah,
I would give England the edge over Spain,
yeah,
just from a
yeah.
mentality perspective.
Yeah. See, that's where I stand as well. I think that if it finishes in regulation time, Spain win. I think it will be,
Yeah,
and I think it will be an easy victory, honestly.
yeah,
But if England can hold on till pens, I think England win.
yeah, yeah. I think it's going to be like a 3-0 Spain or a 1-0 England. Like that's where I stand.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Like somehow they score a goal in the 21st minute and then they
Yeah,
never leave their box. you know?
yeah, yeah. I reckon it's going to be. I don't think it will be a clean sheet for either team. So I am gonna
Mm.
go 3-1 Spain. I've kind of made my peace with the fact that Spain might win this.
Yeah, I think
Um,
I'm gonna go 3-0 Spain.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't hate on
Okay.
us, English fans. We want to predict an English victory, but we can't. It just
Yeah. Just being realistic
logically,
here.
yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, I think that brings us to the end of this preview. A reminder once again to all of you out there to subscribe to our channel, comment on our videos. Again, reminding you, tell us who you think are going to win this game and what your score prediction is. To leave those in the comments. We will catch you soon. We're definitely doing a live watch along for that final, so we'll catch you there. All right, bye bye.